由日本政府全程支持。
危険ですよ！避難してください！
Nature's fury can never be underestimated. Without warning, our way of life can be swept away in just an instant.
On March 11th, 2011, a large earthquake and tsunami struck the northeastern part of Japan. When I first visited, everyone where I went, there was much despair. All I could do was sit next to the victims, hold their hands, rub their backs, and shed tears with them. Today, the affected areas are finally starting to see a light at the end of the tunnel. I want to see recovery with my very own eyes, and I would like to share it with all of you.
It is said tragedies like these occur only once in a millennium. Northeastern Japan was hit by a 9.0 magnitude earthquake. A tsunami with waves that reached as high as 40 meters struck Tohoku, the northeastern coast of Japan. More than 15,000 people died. I'm boarding a bullet train known as the Shinkansen at Tokyo Station to head to the devastated areas in the north. My first story will be about this bullet train. The Shinkansen is one of the fastest trains in the world, reaching 300 kilometers per hour. When the earthquake hit, 27 Shinkansens with 10,000 passengers were in Tohoku that day. Amazingly, not one person died or was injured.
それはすごいぞと。事故がないってどういうことなんだ。そのシステムっていうのは一体何なんだっていうのは僕自身も知らないし。
Miyagi Prefecture's Oshika Peninsula faces the Pacific Ocean. It is here custom-built technology set off a chain of events which saved so many lives. In a hidden location, the Kinkasan coastline seismograph monitors earthquake tremors.
この地震計は東北新幹線の中だと大体いくつぐらい施設があるんですか？
海岸に置いてあるものは16カ所ございます。はい。あとは沿線にも置いてございます。
This seismograph was instrumental in saving thousands of lives. But, to be honest, it looked nothing like what I had imagined.
これが地震計です。地震の揺れを検知をするセンサーが入っています。
常に監視の目がここに来てるということですね。
On March 11 at 2:47:03 p.m., the instrument detected the seismic waves 45 seconds after the epicenter's initial tremor. Signals were immediately transmitted to electric power substations, which instantly cut power to all Shinkansens in the area. 3 seconds after the power was cut, the emergency brakes were triggered. A train running at 270 kilometers per hour takes 70 seconds to drop to 100 kilometers per hour and another 30 seconds to come to a complete stop.
例えば運転士 士の方がいるじゃないですか、その方はまだ揺れてないぞっていう時からもうそういう
ブレーキがかかります。
かかるってことですね。おお、それはすごいですね。
It was not just the early detection of the earthquake that saved lives. JL East had taken far more critical measures to prepare for such an event. In 1995, a huge earthquake struck the Kobe area, killing over 6,000 people. Many of the pillars which support the elevated Shinkansen tracks collapsed. Learning from what happened in Kobe, JL East decided to install steel frames on some of its pillars. The 700-kilometer Tohoku Shinkansen network has 54,000 pillars along its tracks.
相当結構厚い鉄板ですよね。
これがないとですね、揺れてですね、こう座屈って言いますか、こういう形で揺れひねられたりして、コンクリートが割れて、
変な、
はい、で中の鉄筋がこう膨らんでくるっていうようなことになります。
After analyzing each pillar, work began with the weakest. With the earthquake behind us, how will the builders of the next generation trains like this use their experiences to develop technology for the future?
過去からさまざまな努力があって今のものがあるんですけども、例えば今回の地震でもですね、完全に安全だったっていうものではないんですね。たまたま偶然でそうなったっていう部分もいっぱいありまして、そこをしっかり把握した中でどういう手立てを打っていくべきか議論してまして、それを確実にやっていくことがそれは大事なことなのかと思っています。
まあさらに積み重ねていくということですね。
Kesennuma in Miyagi Prefecture, with a population of about 70,000, was one of the hardest hit. This fishing vessel was carried 700 meters inland. The waves here reached a height of 20 meters and killed over 1,000 people. But the town and its people are intent on rebuilding their lives. At this 100-year-old brewery of sake, or rice wine, an ancient ritual is underway with a prayer for a brighter future. Akihiko Sugawara is the 5th generation president of this family brewery. He is putting his heart and soul into making his award-winning sake Sotenden, using local ingredients from Kesennuma.
こんにちは。
こんにちは。
すみません、お時間いただきました。
はじめまして。
ありがとうございます。
どうもお世話になります。
地酒っていうプライドみたいなものってのは、すごく強くおありになるんですかね。
ありますね。我々ってとにかくこの土地に今までも生かされてきたと思いますし、私たちもこの土地を大事にしなきゃいけない。
今こういう大きな災害があった、いろんな思いもそこに込めていくっていうことですね。
はい、どうも。はい、離れ。
Japanese sake is made from the best part of white rice. This is artisanal brewing at its best, with masters overseeing every step. They add rice malt, yeast, and water to steamed rice. The mixture is fermented and filtered, becoming Japan's iconic rice wine. Recovery has not been easy. The office was destroyed. Employees lost family. But the company is making a comeback, thanks to a miracle. After the tsunami, Sugawara thought his unrefined sake, known as Moromi, had been lost.
すごいすごい、もうここで鼻から酒飲んでる感じですね。
But when he arrived on that fateful day, he heard the distinctive sound of bubbling. The Moromi was still alive.
残った時に、絶対これは出荷してやろうってやっぱ思いました。
いや、やっぱりこれどうしても絶対酒にしなきゃいけないんじゃないかなとかですね、いろんなことやっぱ考えますよね。
But at the time, there was no electricity or running water, making it impossible to continue production. The more days passed, the greater the danger the Moromi would lose its flavor. Fortunately, residents came to the rescue. They loaned many things, including an electric generator. The brewery was now determined to get back on track.
とにかく市民のために、復興のためにやってくれという人たちがいっぱい現れました。そういう人たちの声に報いるためにも、やっぱり気仙沼の生産施設が元気でものを作り出していくと。
Before, much of the salt and land was consumed locally. After the disaster, Otokoyama Honten received many orders from around the country. This was the ultimate inspiration for Sugawara, who is now more dedicated than ever to produce the best sake possible.
地酒って何なのかっていうことを考えた時に、まずはその土地の米であったり、それからその土地の水であったり、その土地の空気ですよね。実はもう一つ大事な要素があって、やっぱりその土地の人にこう鍛えられてきたという。
それを全部集めて、本当にこう絞ったものが出てくるんだと。
はい。だから今のこの被災地の状況の中では、そういった気仙沼のいろんなものを集めたものを外に向けて発信するという、それはもう大きな使命なんじゃないかなというふうに感じてるんですね。
Kesenuma is a fishing town famous for its bonito and sari. I wanted to speak to these local fishermen about their feelings on recovery in Kesenuma over a bottle of local sake. Sugawara has assembled his friends. We gather to drink and talk around the traditional Japanese hearth. For these men, although their town has been devastated, they are moving forward with their lives.
最初は助けてもらうために、みんながいらっしゃってくれるんですけど、それが今度はいや楽しいから行こうとか、美味しいから行こうとかいう早くそういう方向に持っていけるようにね。
やっぱり楽しそうじゃないですか。人集まんないですよ。人集まんないし、やっぱり人が魅力を感じない、その街に。
なんだこの野郎って感じで、だからこのままでは終わんねえよ。
負けてはいかんと。
ああ、いいですね。
The sake they love so much is being made in other affected parts of Japan as well. If you ever have the chance to taste sake from these areas, I hope you will savor their courage, spirit, and hope.